But Dr. Gordon, we're so excited that you're here with us tonight and that you've invited your friends and family. If you want to go ahead and take a minute and just welcome everybody, and then we'll go ahead and get started.
Sure, absolutely. Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Zoom Nation. We're all part of Zoom, the Zoom technology. We can't live without it these days. So thank you all for coming on and thank you for joining us. I'd like to welcome not just my friends and family and colleagues, but friends and family and colleagues of Jennifer Contant, of Pam and Eugene, of Tiffany Arrington, who's my medical assistant. We're all thrilled to have you here tonight. And we're very excited to share this half hour with you. We've been journeying with LifeVantage, which is the company we'll be talking about tonight, but we've been journeying with health and wellness for a long time. Certainly in my practice, that's kind of my passion. So I'm very excited to have April and Bob share with us tonight a little bit about that, give you a little insight in terms of what that is all about. And then certainly if you have any questions, we'll be happy to entertain at the end. So welcome everyone. And I know you're gonna enjoy this. So hold tight, buckle up, and let's take off.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. And we're going to bring her back at the end too, because she's just so amazing. So anyway, I get the honor, and something that I'm pretty passionate about is I get to talk about the difference between activation and supplementation. And, you know, this is something we found a little over 3 years ago. We have actually been in this industry with a lot of these people, particularly Dr. Gordon, for some 28, 29 years at this point. And 3 years ago, we had never heard of this discovery, did not know about it, even though, you know, we had been fortunate enough to work with a lot of physicians, had made a lot of money in this industry, and really just didn't know, you can just switch that one in. You know, didn't know or had never heard about this. So what I'm going to talk about tonight is called activation. And you may know supplementation. That may be something that you do at this point, but really supplementation is all those multivitamins that you take on a daily basis. If you take a vitamin C or a D, particularly with this pandemic that's going on, a lot of doctors have advised us to take, you know, different vitamin C's, multivitamins, D, zinc, all different things. But all that is supplementation. You're adding to your body already. What we're going to talk tonight about is actually activation. And it's really different from anything else out there. We are the first company that actually came out with this. And it's kind of a long story. I mean, it's a great story that the company has. I'm going to keep adding people. Sorry. Got a lot of people joining yet. So the company actually discovered, or I should say this doctor, this cardiologist actually discovered back in the 1960s that at a cellular level, there was this protein, and this protein could produce a lot of antioxidants. The only thing is it stopped producing for women at age 24 and for men at 22. And so they came through with aging starts at age 20, which seems so young to us, but you know, we're learning more and more. This was such a fascinating discovery that he was actually awarded the Elliott Crescent Award, which is an award that people like the Wright brothers or Henry Ford or Alexander Graham Bell, really famous people. And one of the things that this cardiologist said is declining health something we must accept as part of getting older? And so to me, that's always been of interest, particularly when I think back to after Bobby and I had been married for a few years, his grandmother had passed. And she passed in a manner that she went through her house and she labeled everything. There were 8 kids and a lot of grandkids there. So she labeled everything. She literally sat down in a chair, had no health problems that anybody knew of, and she just passed very peacefully. And so that left a huge impression on me, because even years later, we wound up taking care of my grandmother, and she was in and out of nursing homes, and we spent a lot of time, and ultimately the end of her life was of no quality. And so, you know, I don't know if you ever think about the end of your life and how you want your life to live. You know, we hear terms these days that people talk about more often are things called health span and lifespan. And so you may have heard of lifespan. The average lifespan of us here in the United States is 78 years, but health span is only 66 years. So that's literally 12 years of poor health that most of us, that's how we end our life. So this cardiologist, you know, this question stayed with him. And so he worked for years to find out how he might go about actually activating that protein at a cellular level, and it's called the NRF2 pathway. We call it NRF2 activation because what we're really doing is flipping a switch on that cell so that we now have the power to turn on our good genes, but turn off our bad genes. It said that we actually can be in control of 80% of our genes. We don't necessarily have to have what our parents had. We can be in control of them with products like these, diet and exercise. So we really do have a control over a lot. One of the terms that we talk about is oxidative stress. And I've not heard about this prior to, again, this company 3 years ago. And oxidative stress is really the difference between the amount of free radicals your body creates. And you can see while we're talking, breathing, eating, exercise, using our cell phone, I can go on and on. We are creating a lot of free radicals in our body. And we try to supplement, back to that supplementation, but we can't take in enough from foods and nutritional supplements. So the difference is oxidative stress. And what they found out is oxidative stress is the precursor for all disease and aging. So very, very powerful there. So, the thought was if we can reduce oxidative stress, we can reduce all disease and aging, which is just unbelievable. So he came up with this Protandim NRF2 synergizer, and this is a powerhouse. It will actually reduce oxidative stress by 40% in the first 30 days, and lots and lots of studies. I'll briefly go over that at the end. The Protandim helps activate your body to create more than 1 million times per second the antioxidant value, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a few minutes. It increases glutathione. Glutathione is our master antioxidant, if you're not familiar with it. And a lot of times people will go to medical spas to get injections or IVs of glutathione to try to boost their glutathione because, again, it is the master antioxidant. Ours, with this one little yellow pill, actually increases by 300%. So that gets everybody super excited about that. And because it is so exciting, you can imagine every large pharmaceutical, nutraceutical company out there would love to have the recipe for this product, but luckily we have 13 patents that actually prevent the duplication of this formulation. Now this formulation, you're thinking, what is it? It's really just 5 plant-based ingredients. And I find most people may be taking or even used to some of these, particularly when I talk about turmeric. They either, cook with it or maybe, take it for inflammation. Green tea is another one everybody's familiar with. But again, it's just 5 plant-based ingredients used in his recipe, his formulation, the synergistic effect. We get 1,800% better results with these 5 plant-based ingredients than you can see on that chart. If we took one each, or we even combine them ourselves for 5 pills, could you imagine having 5 pills to try to get these benefits? It's just one little yellow pill that we get 1,800% better results with that. And so a lot of times people say to me, I got a pretty clean diet, and I think I'm probably getting enough in, but Protandim, actually, you'd have to take in 11 pounds of blueberries. You'd have to take in 375 oranges, 120 capsules of vitamin C or tablets, and 87 glasses of red wine, all in a day, every day, forever, to get the results that we get with this Protandim, this one little yellow pill. Like I said, we get 1 million times per second the antioxidant value. What's really cool, and this got me excited when I first heard about the product, we can really have the blood of a 20-year-old, because for every month that we are on Protandim, we reduce a whole decade of oxidative stress. So if I took an 80-year-old that had been on Protandim for 8 months, a 60-year-old that had been on it for 6 months, a 40-year-old that had been on it for 4 months, and a 20-year-old, and I drew all their blood, I could not truly tell whose was the blood of a 20-year-old. So, that just gets me so excited. But there's lots of science behind this. And particularly there's a site called pubmed.gov. And typically this is a site where doctors and scientists go and they want to know about pharmaceutical drugs and the interactions, cautions, warnings, that type of thing. Well, pubmed.gov has some 370,000 studies on oxidative stress. So you and I can go there. We can type in oxidative stress and any disease state that's of interest to you. But it gets even better. The product itself, Protandim, has over 26 peer-reviewed studies listed on this site. Now, not just anybody can get their products listed on this site. It has to be a peer-reviewed study. So a peer-reviewed study is a study done by one large leading medical university, and it has to be conferred by a bunch of other doctors so that everybody comes to the same conclusion. So it's very much an independent study, not a study done by our company. So you can literally type in Protandim and up comes all these different studies, again, that just give us tons and tons of credibility, because all these large leading universities have found it so exciting. Places like Harvard, Florida State, Colorado. Washington University went so far to say as the health effects of NRF2 may well be the most extraordinary therapeutic and the most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine, liking it to things like aspirin, penicillin, stem cells. So that's why we say this is an amazing, amazing discovery that they've come across. What's even more exciting is this NRF2 they've put in our hair care, our skin care, and our brain health. So we have a drink that you can take, but more importantly, I don't know if you're familiar with the app called Think Dirty, really fascinating site. You know, before using some of these products, I went on the Think Dirty app and I took things that we had in our bathroom, our shower, and I put them in the Think Dirty app, and I was surprised at how bad, how many contaminants, even though they touted they were healthy, were in these products that we had been using. A lot of them were 7, 8, 9. Well, all of LifeVantage's products, the hair care and the skin care, are anywhere between a 0 to 3, and a lot of those are just a 1 and a 2. So they rate that app on from 0 to 10. So really, really exciting stuff on how clean our products are. Not only good for us, but super clean. The second theory of aging is mitochondria. And really, that's just the energy that we have at a cellular level. You may remember ATP from school, from biology years ago. You know, our brain cells and our heart cells have some over 4,000 mitochondria per cell. But the sad part of that is, and we need this for energy at a cellular level, for repairing our body. But the sad thing is that as we get older, by the time you've reached midlife, age 40 to 50, you've already gotten rid of half of your mitochondria. So bad for us. So luckily the company put together this all natural ingredients products that again will help increase that cellular energy, increase the ATP, the amount of mitochondria at a cellular level that will help slow down the aging. It's going to improve sleep and cellular repair. It supports cardiovascular and brain health and just improves overall cellular health. So this, the NRF2 and this Protandim one, just a great combination together, but it gets even better. There's a product called NAD Synergizer. This is a real powerhouse. This product helps with everything from mood to sleep, to cardiovascular, cholesterol levels, memory recall, exercise endurance, exercise recovery, libido, weight loss. I mean, it's a powerhouse as far as an anti-aging product. And we have such an amazing product that our product is the only one out there that nothing comes close to it, that activates 100% in the first 24 hours. So huge, huge there. You know, if you've gone on calorie restricted diet, meaning that you've really taken your diet down to somebody like me, it would be maybe 400, 600 calories a day. You could get some activation. There's some other things on the shelf out there, products that people have really don't work that well, but we get 100% activation. That means you can feel that well-being that very first day. Just an amazing product. We like to use these 3 products together. And you know, this is where my husband comes in. He always says, if 1 is good, 2 is even better, 3 must be even better than that. Well, you know, the company kind of took that on as we started using these 3 products together, and they had some studies done. And this is now a patent pending process because we get 2,100% better results of all 3 of those products when we use them together. So it's just amazing the benefits we get from using all 3 of those. But you know, again, just a summary of some of the benefits that we get from these products. When you think about sleep, 65% of people have problems sleeping, improves vitality, increases energy, better memory, focus, concentration. Who doesn't want these benefits? I mean, healthier hair, skin, nails, and also the blood of a 20-year-old. And like I said, libido and weight loss. And we can go on with how great you will feel on these products. The blood of a 20-year-old is one of my personal favorites. I don't want to be 20 again, but I want the blood of a 20-year-old. I want all that. But you know, that was a great story just with the products, but you know, the company's got an even better backstory. And I'm going to let my husband slide in here and he's going to be able to share that story with you. So if you'll hold on 1 minute, thank you for your time.
Hey everybody, how are you? Isn't that product information great? You know, and many of you you were invited here by Dr. Gordon, by Jenny, by, a lot of different people may have invited you. And I always like to start with this. I've known Dr. Gordon for a number of years now. She's kind of like my, I have a saying with one of my other doctor friends, my brother from another mother. She's like my sister from another mother. But Dr. Gordon also has a pharmacology background besides her medical, degree. And when she backs something and uses it with her patients and her family and friends on top of that, it really means a lot. So I want to tell you a little bit of story about, about the company itself, because our background, we actually met Dr. Gordon and some of the other folks, ladies and gentlemen that are on this Zoom now, when we were in our first opportunity in the wellness industry. We spent 25 years with another company. And it was good years, and we worked a lot with the medical community and doctors and, and all of that. But, it was a privately owned company and the owners were older. And in the end of 2017, okay, they decided to close. They didn't want to modernize the company, okay? And what I'm going to share with you, okay, in a minute, okay, is why we chose LifeVantage as our new home after our previous home, okay, closed. And, that was a company that not only had we spent 25 years with, but our team had done over $200 million in sales, okay, which meant, we earned millions of dollars in commission. So it was a good company. It was a good run. And there was a lot of options available on where to go next when that company closed. Okay. And what I want to share with you is what we really loved and fell in love with LifeVantage. Okay. And here's what I'd like you to think about as I go through this. Okay. Number one, I want you to have an open mind. Okay. Number two, I want you to think about what happened this past year, okay, with everybody that you and I know, our friends, our family, our loved ones, our coworkers, the people we go to church with, just everybody, just what happened. And just keep all of that in mind as we go through this, because the products that April just talked about, they're some of the best products that you could ever take in your life to strengthen your immune system. Okay, I mean, just some of the best, okay, that you could ever take, and they're all natural. There's no side effects. There's nothing else that you need to be aware of, okay? So, but from a business standpoint, from a company standpoint, listen to how this company got started, where we are today, and look at how much we could help the world and help, support people, help get people back on their feet, by creating a second or third income, or giving them an opportunity to do something because maybe their primary income is in jeopardy, or maybe they even lost it, because of the pandemic that we've been dealing with for over a year. So who is LifeVantage? What is LifeVantage? Well, we're about 11 years old now, okay? But the company originally was a biomedical company, a biotech company, and that started back in 2003. Now, they had some bottles of product on some store shelves in vitamin stores and nutritional stores, but keep in mind, this was 2003, 2004, okay? Nobody has heard of activation now in 2021. So how many people do you think knew about activation in 2003, 4, and 5, okay? Nobody. Nobody'd heard of it because nobody still knows about it. So in 2005, okay, ABC Primetime heard the claim that we are legally, medically, federal government approved, the claim that we are allowed to make in regards to this product, the Protandim NRF2, okay, the one that reduces oxidative stress, by 40%, okay, in the first 30 days of using it. Well, if you know anything, and I'm sure we've all watched ABC Primetime many, many times in our lives, okay, they generally do a special to kind of prove somebody's doing something wrong, or it's a scam, or it's not true. It's kind of a gotcha kind of show that they're looking to prove that something ain't quite right. Well, John Quiñones, who still works for them, we still see him on TV today, you know, 15, 16 years later, he went in, he had his blood taken and was supposed to come back in 30 days and have it rechecked and see what the product did for his blood. Well, he didn't wait 30 days. He came back after just 2 weeks, and you know, his oxidative stress level when they were measuring his blood had already reduced by 45%. There was already a 45% reduction in just 2 weeks. He didn't even give it to 30 days. Well, needless to say, that gotcha program ended up becoming like a commercial for us. Okay, we used it everywhere. John Quiñones still takes the product to this day. Okay, and anybody who invited you on here could show you that video. Okay, everybody's got it, you know, on YouTube somewhere or in their archives on their phone. Everybody's got it. But that was kind of the launch of things. We're on the NASDAQ Stock Exchange now, but we switched our business model in 2009. That's why I said we're about 11 and a half years old. We went from that store selling model that nobody knew anything about, and we switched it to a direct sales model where people could explain, you know, the story had a, you know, the product had a little bit of a story behind it, and it needed a little bit of instruction and testimonial kind of talk. So nutrigenomics now has become a big industry. For those of you that don't know what it is, it's the study and the science of the way nutrients from our food, from our, I'm sorry, I am letting a lot of people still on, but if you logged in, please make sure that you're muted. We would really appreciate that. Thank you very much. But what happened now, nutrigenomics is a big industry, and it's the way food and nutrients and vitamins interact with our genes. And that's going to be a $17 billion industry in itself by 2023. And we're the leader in that. Okay, LifeVantage is the leader in that industry. We did $240 million in sales last year, and we're predicted to become a $1 billion company in the next 5 years. And just two little tidbits we're very proud of. Erin Brockovich joined our board of directors about 1.5 years ago, and she's a worldwide health advocate, okay? And we actually had the privilege of ringing the closing bell during Wellness Week last year on the stock exchange. So a little bit of background on LifeVantage. Now, we are an international company, and I know we have folks on here tonight, you know, from Trinidad and Tobago. I know we have some Canadian distributors. I know, you know, obviously most are American, but we're in 22 countries around the world, okay? We are sharing this information and this business model around the world in 22 countries with a target to be in over 100 countries. I know for a fact in the next couple months, the Philippines is opening up. Okay, and that's 160 million people just in that market. So we're going to be very aggressive with opening up other countries around the world. Now, what are the benefits, you know, of a business like this? Okay, why is this business model so well received? What do people like about it? Well, number one, you get to work it from home or anywhere you happen to be. See, the only thing that you need to do this business is a smartphone or a laptop or computer. Most people prefer their phone. And all we do is share either a link to a Zoom or a video by text or by our company app. We have an app on our phone. So, you know, if you have ever called for an Uber, if you've ever checked your email on your phone, if you've ever logged into Facebook or Instagram, then you can do this business because it's just an app on the phone. We have a virtual office to run our business. Okay, it's all virtual, minimal startup costs, no inventory requirements. See, in my other opportunity, we used to have to keep large inventories. Now the company drop ships everybody right to their door. They just drop ship the product, you know, and we don't need to keep inventory. And then we all have our personal online store that works in 22 countries and the appropriate language for each country. All you do is click the flag on the site that you see there on the right. And right now it would be an American flag. You click that to whatever country you want, and that website switches to that language and the products available in that country. So it's really, really fascinating. But here's what I'd like you to keep in mind. You know, we all know, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the earning possibilities here, but we all know people that had their hours cut. You know, maybe the security they had before the pandemic isn't so secure as it once was. And I want to just talk to you about three kind of different numbers. You know, a couple months ago, as the year was ending, one of these, I don't know if it was JD Power or whatever, but one of these survey companies took a survey and they asked people, how much money, how much additional money or income would it take for you to be more comfortable in your situation? And to my surprise, and I was very surprised when I heard this, I had to listen to it a couple times, but they said about $500 to $1,000. That was the answer. It was between 500 and 1,000. And I'm like, wow, you know, I would have thought people said, well, if I could just double my income or, you know, something like that. I don't know. I just didn't expect to hear a number that low. Okay. But do you realize if you look at this first red arrow, it's pointing at 600, it's 600 to 700 a month in earnings. That's what that means. That a pro 3 in our company, that's somebody that's doing about $5,000 in business. Their entire team is doing that. It's somebody with about 50 customers. Their entire team has about 50 customers. That's all that is. And that's 600, 700 a month. Every month when the order goes out, you get paid that. Okay. The second red arrow where it says $3,100, well, that's our Pro 5. That's about $20,000 a month in sales, about 200 customers. So if you had a team of say 10 people and everybody had 20 customers, that's 200 customers. And that's $3,100 a month, $35,000, $40,000 a year. Now somebody could maybe stay home with their kids instead of going to work and paying for childcare, you know, in that situation. If you look down to the third red arrow where it says $13,000, okay, well, 14,000, that's 150 to 200,000 a year. Hey, that's a nice 6-figure income. Okay, that's 100,000 in business. That's, you know, about what was the number on that? About 1,000 customers. So that would be like 10 people each having 100 customers would equal that. And I don't have a fourth arrow, but if you go down to this next number, the 25,000, 30,000 a month, that's a Pro 8. And April and I hit that in our 24th month, you know, in the business. That was the rank that we hit. Now, here's why I share it with you. We all know people, and I, you know, I have to keep it short because we only have a few more minutes, but we all remember when 9/11 happened. And 9/11 was a situation, if you were in the Northeast, like I lived in New York at the time, I know a lot of you folks are in the DC area and some for around the country, but if you lived in the New York, New Jersey metropolitan area, or, you know, you were down near the government buildings that were hit, you know, you were only one removed from that tragedy that day. In other words, if you didn't lose somebody that you knew, you had a friend who did. Okay, well, the pandemic, I wanna make a comparison. We all know multiple people, okay? We all know multiple people that have been affected, whether it was health-wise, okay, or financially. It's not in question, okay? We could all make a list of people who had their financial situation affected. So think about that as you're thinking about this. Is this a good business opportunity? Well, look at how unique the products are. They're patented and we have no competition. The pharmaceutical companies have been trying to knock it off for 20 years. But you know what God did in the form of natural ingredients is God done, okay? And we have 26 different studies, okay? We have 13 international patents and there's nothing anybody can do about it. They're all products. We have a massive market all over the world. Everybody can use these products. We're supposed to say 18 and over, but I'm just saying everybody can benefit from this. They're very affordable, okay? They're backed by reputable science. They're consumable, which means they get ordered every month. And we work the business in a subscription model. Okay, that's kind of the way it works. Is you're on a monthly subscription, you can cancel at any time, but you save money by being on a subscription. Okay, now can you do this? Well, I'm going to ask you this: can you use your phone? See, if you've ever used an app on your phone, then you can do this business. And here's what I love about it. In the old days, we used to have to always plan in advance, hotel meetings, office meetings, all this kind of different hotel stuff. We always used to have to plan on that. Now we do the business during the in-between times of our day. Okay, and it's a very simple system. What I love about it, everybody can do this. You don't have to be a good speaker. You know, I listen to Donna talk sometimes, Dr. Gordon. I'm like, boy, is she elegant. Boy, is she well-spoken. And now anybody can invite someone to take a look at a Zoom or a video. See, you invite someone to look, you share a tool with them, a Zoom or a video, and then you bring the team in to answer the questions afterwards. It's a super easy system. And plus we have all the other perks that go with owning a business like this. So let me ask you this, okay? Number one, we're very, very appreciative that you were willing to give 30 minutes of your time and support, okay? So how can you be supportive in this venture? How can you be supportive with these products? Well, based on what April was sharing with you, and Donna, Dr. Gordon will vouch for in a minute when I bring her back on, why not just activate your own health, you know, be a customer, okay? And let your body get the benefits that so many others have already realized. It doesn't cost anything to join. The monthly subscription is discounted, you know, and the shipping is free. But if the company sounds neat to you, or you know people that might be interested in adding a second or third income to what they already have, okay, hey, you know, join us in the business, okay? And we'll teach you and work with you how to do it. But please keep in mind, and this is so important to all of us, if for some reason the timing is not right for you to start a business, I mean, honestly, it doesn't obligate you to anything, but please keep us in mind and send referrals to us, okay, to whoever invited you. See, like I said, we all know people that would like to have a second and third source of income. And when you think of somebody, suggest maybe they should talk to your friend or relative about what they're doing. And all you got to do is just, you know, speak to the person who invited you on here. I mean, that's the only thing that you got to do. So before I go back to the full screen where we can all see each other again, April and I want to personally say we're very, very grateful that you were willing to give your time and support for a half hour tonight. We never take it for granted. We really appreciate it. And, you know, honestly, from the bottom of our heart, we want you to know and say thank you for doing that. But if you're ready, you know, to get results with the products, hey, that's great. If you're ready to join us in the business, that's great. If you have questions and maybe didn't know what to expect, but want to check it out a little more and have some questions on things, hey, you know, that's great. That's what we're here for. Okay. We're here to answer questions and let you know what exists out there. But what I want to do, let me stop sharing the screen. Donna, I am going to call you back in a second. Okay. Everyone see me? Wave, please. Everyone wave. Okay. Donna, where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people are on here, folks. I'm just telling you, there's a lot of people on here. I'm not sure who you invited and who belongs to who, but you know, when this is over, I would ask all the guests that were invited on, would you please text or call the person who invited you and let them know, okay, that you were on, because there's like 60 people on here. We only see 20 or 25. You know, everybody goes on to a second and third, fourth screen. But Donna, would you come back? You don't mind me calling you my sister from another mother, do you? Absolutely
not. That's PR, Bob. Yeah, it's certainly a pleasure to have both you and April share with us a lot about LifeVantage. And I know we have known each other, I think it's more than 15 years.
It's a while now.
Yeah, and I thank you for sharing. And again, the idea behind this evening was really to present all of LifeVantage. Some of us may be interested in just optimizing our health and improving the status of our health. And others may be looking at trying to improve our wealth and enhance that. And whether you're looking just to improve your health, you know, LifeVantage is a phenomenal option. And in fact, it's probably, as Bob indicated, is the only known product in the science of getting things started again. You know, reactivation or activating the cells to rise up again, to work well again, to be functional again. And this is the only product that actually is available in the market today that can do that. If you're interested in improving your wealth status, then the opportunity is tremendous. And if you would like to do both, again, that's even and so much more beneficial. Wherever you think you may be interested in, or whatever you think you might have a leaning towards, please reach out to us and we'll be happy to answer any additional questions. But having journeyed with the LifeVantage products for the last 2 years with myself, my family, and my patients, I can say this to you: the science is what got me started. The amazing results I'm seeing has really blown my mind. And I know that it not just works, but it works really well, and is quite surprising in the way in which it works, and the benefits that I'm seeing with patients who have a significant number of different types of conditions. So I encourage you to really consider using this as a daily regimen to kind of get your health back on track, but more importantly, to get your cells working well again. Because at the end of the day, the most basic unit in your body is your cell. And if you can activate the cell, then organs work well, systems work well, and your whole body works well as an integrated one. So thanks so much again for joining us this evening. And I'm not sure if, Bob, do we have time to entertain any questions or?
No, no, because we're already a few minutes over. We will happily answer questions. Reach out to the person who invited you on, and any questions you have will get answered through that person, or they'll get with us. But Donna, I love this about you, okay? I know you only consider doing anything if the science is there, and then you keep doing it if the results are there. And then if the results are outstanding, you'll do it as a business too. And I know you for a lot of years. So I know how you work, you know, and I'm so glad that you're all on board on all three. You know, we're just happy to have you. So, but we're done for tonight. If you know, please get back to, and 2 things. Let everybody know that you were on. Whoever invited you, text them, just let them know that you were on. But it's simple and easy to order, okay? And the person who invited you can just send you a link to order. If you want to learn more about the business, then just reach out and they'll answer more about the business. But we greatly appreciate your time. We never take it for granted. Have a good evening, everybody, and thanks for being here. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thanks, Donna. Jennifer, have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
See you tomorrow, Dr. Gordon.
Yeah, see you, Pam. See you
Bye,
tomorrow.
Pam.